All right, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Thursday, January 19th, 2023. If you've not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts and analysis. Anyways, another winner in the books today. Just FYI here, so that is 8 out of 9 to start the year. And yeah, really rocking and rolling here. That's a winner on QID. 2 times short the NASDAQ, and we picked that up yesterday right near that cycle date that we talked about yesterday, right near the highs, and a nice little payoff there so far as we are in now what I think is a down cycle. So markets here may get a little bit of a bounce. We talked about this yesterday. The spiders are down 62 basis points currently, and so there might be a little bit of a tail candle today. I thought we would close green, not quite there yet. I didn't know how much we were going to gap down. I thought we would gap down today, but again, even in the time that I was doing my video yesterday, I did the video a little early. We weren't even close to that 50 moving average yet, and you can see yesterday by the close we really dumped out in the last half hour. So we got near that 50 moving average, and we are below that currently. And if you take a fib here, you can see we already got, I mean, it's hard to believe, but in 2 days, we got to a 50% fib here. So pretty sharp sell-off for the most part. And if you look at back all year, a lot of these turns have come during kind of OPEX time, these rollovers. So we had well, I wouldn't really call that one a turn there. That was kind of before the move. But the one in August was a turn right before OPEX. Same thing here in September. I believe that was the CPI. There was Jackson Hole there. So nice sell-off there. And, again, in February, same kind of deal there. Even in kind of like April, you started to fade towards March. But either way, nice little dump. We do have Netflix earnings after the bell. Netflix is taking a dump right now as well in the final 10 minutes here. So right near double bottom there intraday. I'll come back and take a look at that afterwards. Obviously, that sets the bar for tech earnings. Procter & Gamble reported today. So that one, pretty ugly candle there. So we gapped down and then rallied all the way back to gap fill, almost got green, and then right back down. So now back below the 250 and 20 moving average. So not a good look there for PG. That probably wants to get to about 140. I'd say that's good near-term support, but that's a pretty violent sell-off there in 2 days there on PG. Netflix, though, we'll take a look at this. If this gaps up, I mean, I wouldn't even, if I wasn't doing the video, I would probably take an after-hours short if this does get up to 350. You got to figure the amount of bag holders that are stuck right here from this previous earnings gap. There's a lot of them, believe it or not, they're in there. You'd think that people would have sold by now, but that's not how it works. They hold for a long time, and they will turn into sellers if this gets up there. I don't know if it does. The figure, I would think, over the last week or so, if I was holding it, and we got up to 330, 335, and I was only $10 out of the money, I would say, you know what, just cut the loss there. So maybe that's part of the reason for the pullback here. We'll see what happens with NFLX, though, by the close. Either way, though, more importantly, fundamentally here for the market, take a look at the semiconductors. So this is something I harp on every single day here, down 2.3%. And I tweeted this out earlier. Right off the bat, something that jumps out at me, semis are now taking leadership to the downside, as is the NASDAQ. Triple Q's down 1%. Spider's only down 2/3. Dow down 2/3. And then the Russell also down 1%. So NASDAQ Russell now leading to the downside. What have I been talking about all the last 3 weeks here? I've been saying NASDAQ and Russell are leading to the upside. That's bullish, and said until that changes, we're going to give the market an upside bias. That is flipped now. So I do think this is we have started this down cycle here. And we're seeing confirmation from the Russell, the semis, and the transports here down 1.34%. It's holding that 50-day for now. We had a gap right there, but a pretty good rejection yesterday. I mean, that got all the way up to 14.7 and a pretty good sell-off with follow-through today. They are dipping down now in the final 5 to 10 minutes here of trading. So we'll see where they close here. But again, all the things that I like to see after a market turn takes place, and Netflix really dumping here, by the way, but all the things that I like to see, really when there's a market turn or just in general and looking for trend, they're all kind of, the boxes are starting to get checked. And now we're going to start to see, in my opinion, we're seeing a shift here very shortly, if we haven't already, we're going to see a shift where bad news is bad news again. And what that means is when we have weak jobs numbers and bonds rally, it's not going to be good for the market, because the market's going to come to the realization soon, if it hasn't already, that the Fed's not coming to the rescue right now. They're just not going to be able to with inflation where it is. And so you see yesterday we had that weak economic data, and bonds rallied. Both the 30-year and the 2-year rallied, and the 10-year. So they all rallied, right? And what did the NASDAQ do? Oh, the NASDAQ got dumped yesterday. I know everybody said, oh, it's OPEX games. It's OPEX games. I don't think it's OPEX games here. You wiped out too much. I mean, take a look at the spiders here. You know, that's a week's worth of trading that we wiped out in one day. And then we had follow through today. That's not OPEX games. That's a deep cut, if you ask me. Take a look at the weekly. You know, if we close the week down here, I mean, that's basically an engulfing reversal, 50 MA rejection, trendline rejection. This was always just a bear market rally, and that's really the bottom line. And that, you know, you guys know I've maintained that the whole way up, even though we were, you know, calling for a rally here, and you know that it turned out to be correct. And you still have, you know, you're still red inside bar here. So again, market may get a bounce here. It probably is due for one. We might get some OPEX pin action, maybe 390 action, maybe even a little bit higher. I can't rule that out here. But I do not expect us to make new highs. Just so that is my bias right now, and we'll continue to look. Nice dump here on the Qs. So bear's making a little bit of a statement here. You see the VIXy upticking a little bit there. VIX, speaking of the VIX, actually not really that crazy. So actually, up just 1% on the day, and that was after VIXpiration there. So interesting to see the VIX not doing a whole lot. Again, they do try to keep the VIX kind of suppressed in OPEX week. That is very, very common. So anyways, let's flip over here. So Netflix took a huge dump into the close. Close at 315. I'll flip over let's go to the after hours here. Netflix is usually pretty quick to report. Looks like we got some action going on here. So up to 330. Yeah, it looks like that report is out. Just gonna check here what we got. I'm gonna see if I can get some news on this. Well, I'll check back in on that later. Anyways, Netflix getting a bid here. So up to 334 after hours. So basically near the highs of the day. So nice move. Actually, well, back to the highs of the week, rather. So nice move there. We'll see if sellers come in here. We'll check back in on that. But anyways, let's get back over here to the Qs. So again, spiders went into a 50% fib in just 2 days. The Qs went into a 382. That got defended here. So we'll give the market a little bit of an upside bias here going into tomorrow. But, you know, we saw no bounces here, no dip buyers coming in over the last 2 days. And it does look like bears are in full control yet again. So bottom line, again, this was always just a bear market rally. And I do think we are starting that next leg down. As I said, previously, if you guys watched the kind of forecast video for 2023, I said we'd probably trade up into the middle to late January, and then that's when we start to see more downside start to come in, and it does look like that is happening now. Netflix here up to 340, so we'll watch that. We'll take a look at that afterwards. Let me just check one more time and see if I can get some wire news here. I'll try to, well, we'll check on it later. It doesn't really matter. It's only Netflix. So anyways, it's settling at 340. So we'll give it that. We'll give it, that's basically a new high. Yeah, so basically up to there, that 350 level is going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to get through that. But anyways, let's get over here. Semis, SMH. Actually, let's do the Russell first. IWM. So again, you could get a little bit of a bounce here into that 200-day moving average. It got a nice little pop off of that. You see the IWM intraday there. Maybe we need to go up and fill that gap here. But again, down like everything else, down 1% and leading to the downside. I never like to see the NASDAQ and the Russell leading to the downside. That is a bearish sign moving forward. All right, so over to the semis. Again, near-term target, probably in that 200 to 50 MA area. You also have a gap window. So that will be good support here for the SMH in the short term. But either way, two pretty good cuts here, down 2.5%, and that is now leading to the downside. So again, Not a good sign here moving forward for tech and for the market whenever the semiconductors are leading to the downside. IGV actually holding up reasonably well, down just 0.75%, actually holding that 50 moving average. So it's in a lot better shape here. We did fill that gap yesterday, but again, down just like everything else. And this will go lower with the rest of the market. Transports, again, we already talked about, held the 50 moving average. Maybe we can get a bounce tomorrow. I know some of the airline stocks did recover nicely. United had that huge reversal yesterday, and then it filled the gap today. Came off the lows nicely. But again, transports, pretty good rejection there yesterday. It's holding the 50 for right now, but I do expect this to move lower as well. Anyways, over to interest rates. So the 10-year here basically flattish on the day for the most part. I mean, well, 65 basis points is flat, I guess, these days for the TYX. 30-year did bid up a little bit. Nothing too major here. I'm a little bit more neutral on yields right now, but we haven't made lower lows yet. The 30-year is holding up much better, and I know a lot of fund managers are trying to crowd into the long bond right now for safety, as you're expecting a recession here, so that makes sense. 2-year backed off a little bit, still not quite to that target yet. So again, that's still in play. A little bit of a pause candle there potentially. Nothing wrong with it right now. I do expect this to eventually fill. But yeah, nothing really too new to add there to yields today. Now over to home builders, XHB. Nice sell off there. So I've been giving you guys that level for a long time here, and I am in this, by the way, just so you guys know. XHB to the short side. And yeah, really nice rejection there off of that level. We got all the way up to almost a 68 on the ITB. So high was 67.83. Pretty good sell off. We got right into that gap here. You guys know I do not like the home builders moving forward. Really good rejection there. It looks like the bottom fell out of XHB. Now it probably has some support here around 63. This is kind of where your last breakout was. So right in that area there, 63. There's your daily 20 moving average, 50 just below that as well. So again, really good sell off. Probably gets a bounce here by Friday. If not, then by Monday. But nice little reversal there for the home builders. VNQ is actually holding up really well. It was actually green at one point today, but eventually rolled over here. Again, you still have this green bar, so it's hanging in there okay. I just do not like it on the bigger time frames here. The trend is down. You're starting to see spacing between these moving averages. I do not like VNQ moving forward, as you guys know. XLF, pretty good sell off today. This was another kind of confirming factor, I guess, this morning. So XLF gapping down pretty sharply here. You can see if we go to the intraday, and we're in the earnings style there. So let me flip over. All right, intraday. So pretty good gap down on XLF, and I said that. Okay, XLF is down hard. Semis are selling hard. Transports are selling hard. So it's probably a legitimate sell-off here. But either way, XLF still managing to hold that little pivot there. Right around 38.75, which is basically where we closed today. 20 MA. It touched the 50 MA and then came back. I think this could get up to gap fill here, but again, I do not like the financials either, as you guys are also well aware. Broker dealer is also a pretty good sell, although it did held the 50 moving average. By the end of the day, I don't think it gets anywhere near 490 anymore. Okay, energy here. So on to crude. Again, nice little reversal today. Now, you might say, well, is this head and shoulders back in play, inverse head and shoulders? The answer is no, because the way I do things, as soon as you close back below the neckline after triggering, it's an invalid. So that's, to me, you guys can call it whatever you want, but that's the way that I rule it. So I do not like this pattern anymore. And again, still a weekly inside bar, so I'm still neutral to bearish on crude until proven otherwise. You close above 82.72 tomorrow afternoon, Friday close, I will change my mind on it. But until that happens, 20 moving average, 100 moving average rejection, and bearish inside bar on the weekly time frame. So that is still bearish until proven otherwise here on crude futures. XLE, again, just the sector that does not want to go down here, energy. So XLE up 1.2% in a down market. Give these guys credit, I guess. That's really all I can say about it. XOP, nice move here after that pretty good rejection yesterday. I'm still thinking these need to do more backing and filling. These will go through a correction. And if we have a broad sell-off, I don't care what the fundamentals look like. These will all sell off as well. There will be margin calling and et cetera. Kind of like there was in June. You see OIH there as well. September, same kind of thing. So that's just the nature of things. That's why I'm advising not to chase. Pretty good reversal there on OIH. That did finish down 25 basis points with a little doji candle. Really good reversal yesterday. It's still holding up well. Probably wants to go test 305 here in the near term, but not a terrible pause day there after a good sell-off. Nat gas continues to be under pressure, can't get out of its own way. New lows there, 319 now. This is still, I'm still in kind of, I mean, maybe this can get to $3. I wouldn't rule that out here. This does feel very contrived, though, this whole move down. When this starts to reverse, I think we'll put in some pretty serious long-term floors in nat gas. But again, it's still under pressure right now. And yeah, to me, it feels like it's very, if you just watch the price action here, like on hourly time frame and the 4 hour, it does feel very controlled. It looks like there's a lot of premium collection going on as well. If you look at Boyle, there is a lot of volume here. Lots of volume at this price, like an absurd amount of volume here. So maybe some OPEX stuff going on there as well. Either way, nat gas under pressure here. Nothing has changed. Dollar index, a little bit of a retrace. I still like this candle from yesterday. I do think the dollar is bottoming. So again, nothing's really changed there overall. Gold, nice move on to the upside here, up 1.42%. This does seem crowded to me, especially with the dollar not making new lows. So I think gold, a lot of people are talking about, oh, gold's, new bull market, it's going on. I don't think we're quite there yet. I think we have one more flush out. And I talked about that previously in an interview a few weeks ago with my friend Jason Burox on his channel, Wall Street for Main Street. Check that out. But I do not think that this is the new bull market yet in gold. I know everybody thinks that right now, but everybody hated it down here when I was saying go long precious metals. Now I'm saying this is risk reward, not good here to be long. So anyway, same thing here with silver. Nothing's changed there. You still have a daily inside bar, but I do think this is trying to put in kind of a rolling top. This should have been able to push up by now, and it hasn't been able to do that. Again, lots of bag holders up in this area here. So that's the monthly one. The weekly, again, lots of supply up here. So, if you ask me, silver is due for a correction anyway. But anyways, platinum got down to that level there. I just give myself these really good levels on platinum and I never take them. So we got to that 50 MA, 1025, pierce at 1025, down to 1018 and a nice reversal there. Again, you did close below that green bar there, so a little bit of weakness. You held this green bar here. Platinum's still holding up well. I'm not sure what it wants to do here. It's had like 7 or 8 down days in a row and a nice tail candle there, so maybe you bounce to 1075, but it's hanging in there okay. I do like platinum moving forward. It just needs to do more backing and filling. Copper, I think, has topped out, so nice topping tail yesterday. We are getting a little bit of a retrace today, so that is normal when you get that type of a pattern. Copper does need to go down to $3.95, maybe $4 though, before it can do anything else. But yeah, nice move there, so we'll respect it. Lastly, over to Bitcoin. Yeah, this is actually holding up okay, so I'll give it that right now. You do have a daily inside bar as opposed to kind of like a rejection or a reversal candle. So Bitcoin's holding up. Again, we still need to get that weekly close above 2188. If that happens, then we can talk about higher prices. But for right now, Bitcoin's hanging in there. It's actually hanging in there way better than the rest of the market. I do not think this is a major low, though. I just want to make that clear. You're seeing too many people, like at least I am seeing too many people call for like a bottom, and they're calling for new all-time highs this year. Usually, when there's a long-term bottom in, nobody wants to call the bottom for the first like 6 months or maybe even longer. So I don't think there's enough hate for it yet. To me, it's just a short squeeze, but it's holding up right now. So again, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt for now. But yeah, I'm not convinced this is, I don't think at all that this is a bottom, just so you guys know. Anyways, back over to Netflix here. All right, so it's settling at 330. I don't see any numbers here, and honestly, I don't really care. All I care about is the price action. So we'll see what that does tomorrow. I'd be shocked if it gets through 350. If this gets through 350, I'll probably take this as a short to myself tomorrow. But we'll see here. sets the tone for tech earnings. We got the big boys reporting next week. Tesla, all of them. Actually, Google had a pretty nice day today, nice outside day. So maybe that gets up to gap fill here in the next couple of days before they report here. But in any case, spiders, bottom line, little tail candle on the daily, doji candle spinning top. We filled the gap essentially. I wouldn't be surprised at anything here if we got a bounce. Tomorrow is OPEX. Anything can happen. But I think we are in sell the rip mode, as you guys know. So just bear that in mind. Anyways, guys, going to wrap it up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. Talk to you all tomorrow.